Hey guys, welcome back to episode 4 of the Help Me series for Let It Die. For this episode, we're going to cover floors 1 through 3 rather quickly. The first 2 floors are sped up on a 2x speed because there's not so much. You've seen the first floor already. Now I've used it to gather resources. The second floor has one new type of room that you'll be dealing with quite often, which pretty much the gates close down. You have to deal with the wave of enemies before you can progress. Now for the third floor, I ran that on regular speed, and I'm gonna stop right as soon as I get to the elevator, because after that elevator that you find is the sub boss, the first sub boss you get to fight against. And after beating the sub boss, you unlock the Tokyo Metro Death Station, and we will cover the boss in the next video. So if you already need help on the boss, you can go ahead and skip to the next video once that's up, and we'll go over that. But for the meantime, we'll quickly cover the first 3 floors. I've already told you that the first floor, you get about on average 3k kill coins and a bunch of materials. Now I'm using the firework launcher now. I actually like it a lot. It's really good for a crowd control if you have the rage attack stored and have enough ammo for it. Also, I'm using a grade 1 fighter that max out at level 25, but I have no attributes leveled up, so the only thing that's carried over on this character is actually the mastery skills for each weapon type that I have used. So it's just 200 health, and I'm all doing this to show that you can do this at the start of the game and you don't really need anything ridiculous or have to level up. So yeah, we'll just quickly go over the first few floors. This floor is probably the only toughest thing about it is the hater that you find pretty early. The amount of the weapons that the hater has is actually dependent on the level of your highest one and the weapons that you found. Also, for suitcases, any weapon can be found in there as long as you've seen it before or have a blueprint for it. So yeah, let's sneak attack this enemy and move on to the second floor. Also, let me know if you like this format, if I can group the easier floors together for one video, or I can show floors separately. Alright, here we go, moving on to the second floor. Second floor is not too difficult. It has gives you your first experience in a closed room where once you go in, the gates close down and you're trapped in there until you defeat the wave of enemies. Just one. Right as soon as you go in, you can always pick up a mushroom right there. Couple mechs. Be careful about these doors. Yeah, this is the first encounter area where the gates close down behind you and in front of you. Gotta kill the enemies. I was trying to use my rage attack for the firework launcher to deal with all of them at once. I actually didn't have enough ammo, and I ended up using it for the using the iron one, which doesn't really work too well because all the CC things that work on humanoids do not work on mechs. So here I go, open up the gates, catching the frog, keep it on me. Heals pretty well for 200 health. Heals about 50 or 60. And I'm not cooking him. I'm saving my ammo. I'm conserving it. Take out this humanoid guy real quick. He had a ranged weapon, pretty easy. Just kind of maul him. Put another frog in my pocket for later. Deal with him. I don't think I was sneaking. These guys are pretty easy to deal with. The pickaxe, two-handed pickaxe, doesn't have a combo. They just swing down one time. Couple enemies in this room. If you ever see this room, they drop from the top. There's also can be a hater in here. They can either be on the top, or they can be on the ground. It all depends. Sometimes they're not in here, and they are in a different room instead. Sneak up on this guy. Go up here. You can jump across. Always open these suitcases for chances of blueprints and such, and just free kill coins. This guy also has a ranged attack weapon. I get hit here, pretty light. Now I have a bunch of fireworks. The MK1s drop scratch metal. Always careful about these doors here. There's nothing really down here except one mushroom at the end. So if you want to pick up a mushroom like defense or attack one, you can go all the way down here. Careful jumping down because you will take fall damage. And there is, I believe there's 2 frogs down here. I only picked up 1. So I get back up, jump back up, proceed through the rest of the floor. Still haven't dealt with the hater yet. He hasn't spawned for me. Jump across here, open up all the suitcases I can find. Now this area, usually if the hater's not in the last one, is actually up here. You can actually hear it, hear them fight sometimes. There's about 3 or 4 enemies, including the hater. I didn't even get my Gortastic attack because he fell down and I missed my chance. The hater has actually like an AK, like 47, not a like a I can't remember which assault rifle he has, but it's a pretty good one. Would have wrecked me if I didn't roll properly. But since it's range, you can kind of just maul him, use my rage attack, and stomp him out real quick. And then I pick everything up that I can find, and we'll store that for later. This character can't use that because the stats aren't high, obviously, because I don't level this character up, just for demonstration purposes. But there's a lot of material in here, like aluminum and stuff like that, that you want to save and keep later. So that's pretty much the second floor. Not too difficult. The hater might be in that last part, but after that it's no problem. Alright, so getting to the 3rd floor, we're gonna deal with this new robot type. It's a flying enemy. It has 3 attacks. Now I didn't really get to show all 3 attacks in this instance because of the breakable floor that it floats over. But this enemy is very annoying to deal with if you don't know how to deal with it. Like at first I had to just use a ranged weapon if I had one to take it down, but now that I've actually studied the 3 attacks it does, it's fairly easy to deal with. 1 attack, it shoots 3 ranged, it looks like sonic rings that bounce. He just did it. Another one, he just does a regular stab at you. And the 3rd one is what you want him to do. You actually want to run next to it and make it plunge, go up in the air, and it will plunge down. Now if you roll properly, it will get stuck in the ground just like that, or just move out the way. I didn't get the roll, but I moved out the way, and they get stuck there and you just finish it off. They don't have a lot of health. This level 1 character has enough strength, even though the mastery still for my unarmed has extra attack on it, but you should be able to deal with it no problem. Pick up another suitcase, open or pick up another frog, eat it for health. This floor is actually really short just because of the sub boss on it. And I don't think there's a hater that spawns it. Sometimes it does. It's really weird, but yeah, there's just a couple stuff. Dealing with the ranged robot is pretty important for later because you'll deal with a lot more of them, and there's so many different robots, but we'll just deal with them one at a time as soon as we encounter them. There's a couple mushrooms here that you can pick up that are useful for the boss and stuff like that. They're not necessarily like you need them, but just in case you need the health or the extra stat boost, you have it. That guy caught me by a surprise with the buzzsaw knuckles, which are alright. They have a ranged rage attack. You shoot like 3 buzz knuckles and do it. I don't really like using it. They feel pretty strong at the beginning though when you first find them, but the damage doesn't really add up. Oh yeah, there is a hitter right before he actually almost killed me. Wow, he had another assault rifle. Luckily the range ran out. I get to quickly eat a frog, and he jumps down, so now I can take advantage of him because they don't really do anything. He did perfect guard that attack for some reason, even though he was already blocking, but kind of rush him down. Now here I hope they kind of fixed the hit detection on the stomps and stuff like that, but nevertheless I just had to use an extra rage attack. But yeah, sometimes the stomp, you can't really get it on them. It has to do with the terrain sometimes. Like if you knock them down on some staircases, you won't get the stomp for some reason because their body is just laying across a couple stairs. So yeah, and you see I have plenty of frogs left to heal up myself just in case I need it. I punched the turret out. You don't want to waste durability on other weapons that you have or ammo. Always crouch before you go past certain corridors. Just makes dealing with enemies really easy. And yeah, I mean, that's the first 3 floors. You could pretty much grind backwards or take the elevator down, which is in the next room. It's only 320 coins, and you easily make that just on the first floor alone. I think the first 3 floors netted me about almost 12k, and that room ahead is where the boss is. So I actually cut the footage short. So but yeah, that's pretty much it for the first 3 floors. Pretty simple. You got to see what a kind of like a wave room looks like, where you have to deal with all the enemies before you progress, the new mech enemy, and etc. So next video we'll talk about the sub boss. Thanks for watching.